Remember this big fella from the other week? Well, you lot thought it would be a really good idea to make it into some kind of tree house, tree town, tree city, tree thing. And I thought, you know what? Why not? Let's have a crack at it right now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next episode from me, Avomance. And I am stood kind of halfway up the tree that I made, a week or two ago now. That, you know, the massive tree that I did that some of you watched and some of you didn't. You're very naughty if you didn't. Go and have a look at it. The link is in the description below. Well, we have had a lot of comments from this saying, oh Matt, this is an awesome tree. Why don't you turn it into some kind of tree house come habitation thing? And I thought, you know what? That ain't too shabby an idea, you know. I think I might have a crack at that. So we're going to turn this into some kind of treetop, tree-bound, tree village thing. And it's going to be really fun. We're not going block by block because that would take about 14 years, which is half the time it took to build the tree in the first place. But we are going to do it stage by stage. And I figure we're going to have a number of different levels on it because there's a number of different branches and some kind of decent way of being able to enter. I don't know yet, but we're going to make it look awesome. Don't you go anywhere because we're doing it right now. So we're going to use various blocks, and I don't know how many of these we're going to use, and I don't know whether or not I might use some and not others, and also don't know whether or not I might bring other blocks in as well. There's every chance, but we've got some woods, definitely oak woods. Obviously we've got our jungle and our oak woods. I'm going to replace the spruce wood in the trunk, etc., with jungle wood, I think, because I think the spruce wood doesn't look quite right, but we are going to replace that with jungle wood. We've got fencing, we've got some brown carpet, because it's a tree in it, you want brown, and some spruce wood bits and pieces, although for the buildings and not for the tree, and obviously some other bits and pieces that we're going to use inside the build as well. Let's just crack on with it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and create some way to get up to this first level, and I think we're going to use this big primary branch as the first big level, with the others being secondary. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a platform that is going to be kind of about this level, maybe 5-ish big, I suppose, maybe 5 square. Let's make it 5 square just to start off with, and we can fiddle around with this, obviously, it doesn't matter. And then off the back of this, we're just going to create some steps down. And what I want to do is I want to try and create this so as the steps down end up giving us a sort of an around the tree effect. If you know what I mean. It's sort of going to come around. I'm going to get rid of that one because I don't look quite right. So it's going to come down and around the tree. So let's just keep coming down because we're now at 2 high. And of course this branch now is going to be in the way. So we're going to do something fairly clever with that in a minute, I think. So if we come down there and there, I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to come out just one more on this side. Like that. I know this looks like it's floating at the minute. We're going to do something about that very, very shortly. So what we're going to do is we're going to come around there. I'm going to get rid of that, that and that. And then, actually what I will do is I'll come down and then down again. So that brings us down to there, but I don't think you can actually walk on that bit, can you? Let's just check that. Can I walk on that, or is that thing at your head? Yes, it does. Right, so that bit's no good because that bit hits your head. So let's get rid of that bit that hits your head. And now if we carry on, we can just fall down, which is what, well, obviously not falling down. That's not what we want, but we can at least do something. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out and we're going to create another little platform just under here. Just a small one. That will do. I think that's plenty big enough. And then from here we're going to come down. Let's get rid of that. There we go. We're going to come down a bit further. And we're going to join this up to the tree again, because I think it's important it hugs the tree. It looks much better if it's going to hug the tree, I think. And we're just going to keep going round and round just with the structure of this. When we get a little bit closer to the bottom, we'll perhaps change it up ever so slightly. So I reckon we just want like that now. Yeah, I think that's about right. So we're going to come out. Yeah, and we're just going to keep going. We just want to come around the tree again. We'll make another little platform. The platforms, we're going to use these for other things as well. They're not just going to be sticking out, but we'll be using them for other bits and pieces. So let's come down one. I know I said I'm going to replace these spruce wood spots in just a minute, but I just want to get this stairwell done. I think we need that to come out there, that to come out there, and then basically we'll just keep on going until we've got a nice kind of spirally staircase that goes around the tree with a number of platforms that will give us something that we can build on very, very shortly. So there's another platform that's going to come out here. So I'm going to crack on with this, and I'll be back when I've created this just a little bit more. Don't you go anywhere. So we've got a bit of a staircase going now that kind of swoops backwards and forwards like this. So let's walk up it, and it takes us up to that first level. Now this is all very dark at the moment. We're going to put some proper lighting in this without a doubt, because if this was in survival we would be properly all zombied and we'd have our face eaten before we even got halfway up these stairs. So we're not having none of that. But what I've got up the top here now is, once we've got up to this level, and you can see we're still quite high up even though we're on the first level, and we've got a platform that comes around and allows access to that branch there, and also comes around with access to that branch there, and eventually round to this branch here as well. So we've got a good, oh look, I've missed one, because what I've done is I've taken out all of that horrible spruce wood that just looked like it was some kind of wood blight on the on the build. It just wasn't going to do at all, was it? So we've taken out, and no doubt I've missed a few, but we've taken out that wood there, and now we've just got more jungle wood and oak wood. And I think if we look at the tree itself, I think it makes it look much nicer. It looks like all gnarly, and because the grain goes the opposite direction with the jungle wood, I just really quite like the way it looks. So we're going to be experimenting a bit more with that now. But what we're going to do now is we're going to start to create some I guess is it going to be living platforms, kind of accommodation-y type things in here. And the way we're going to do that is we're just going to make some pads, I suppose is the best way to describe it. We're going to make some kind of round circular pads. So I don't know, say 4, obviously don't make circles in Minecraft, they're more juddery around. 4, then 1, then 1, then come around. Obviously we're going to have to remove some of the roots here. So, and then this can be 2, 3, 4, then 1, then 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see what I'm trying to achieve here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, then 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Counting with Avo again, if you notice that. We do a lot of counting with Avo, don't we, really? Okay, so that's kind of the platform that I'm trying to achieve, and we're going to be just doing multiples of these platforms, smaller, larger, some higher, some lower, that kind of stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these to create the platforms for the living accommodations, or the whatever it is that's actually going to be in this village, the buildings themselves, if you like. And we can connect them all up. Can you see what I mean? I think that needs to be a little bit bigger actually, that's not big enough. So make it 5, 1, 2, we just literally come out all the way around. And it doesn't matter if we kind of overlap ourselves a little bit. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5, then out, then out, then out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, out. Come on, out, out. 2, 3, 4. So how have I gone wrong there? Right, so I've got to come further out this way, haven't I? There and there. So that's not, is that the right shape? I'm stuck in the leaves, help me. So we've got, that's not quite right still, is it? So I think we've got to come out one more in this direction on every one. So there, oh, there, then there, there, and there. I think that's better. So to keep it in my head. Okay, so that's better. So now we've got a much larger platform that we can start to build onto, and we're going to make a number of these platforms across the tree. So we'll have like another smaller one just here that maybe be on a slightly different level to that one up there. So make this just 4, and then 1, and then 1, and then 4. So it's quite a little bit smaller than the other one. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put a rogue block in there, and then we're going to come out 1, 1, and there. So you can see that's a smaller one. Is that on a slight? Should be. I think that's one higher, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to keep doing this until we've got a few platforms, and then we're going to start to link them up with walkways and other such things. Hopefully not so as it intrudes too much on the tree itself, because what we don't want to do is just have a load of houses plonked in a tree. We want it to be kind of all in keeping and work with the tree rather than in spite of the tree. So if we come out over here, for example, and we look, these platforms should work with the tree, so part of it will start to protrude through, other bits will come up, and it'll just work quite nicely. So I'm just going to create a number of the platforms. I'm only going to work on this front bottom level first. We're going to ignore these two top levels for the moment. We're just going to work on these ones, and let's see what we end up with. We've got a number of platforms on there now, and I know they look a little bit like floaty mushroom tops at the moment. That is not how they are going to stay, believe me. We're going to make these a little bit more structured, and then we're going to give them a little bit of a merge into the tree. I don't know if you've ever done like a pencil drawing, and then you kind of rub the edges when you've done that pencil drawing just to soften them up. Well, we're going to be doing kind of rubbing, obviously metaphorically, we're going to be doing some edge rubbing just to make these merge into the tree a little bit more, probably by adding more leaves and softening these edges so they're a little bit thinner. And obviously we need to push it up so as it goes up to the top of the tree as well. So we're going to crack on first off. I want to start to soften the edges a little bit. What we're going to do is we're just going to put around the outer edge here of the of these platforms, we're going to put a step which is the same colour as the platform in the oak, but where we hit leaf I'm not going to put step. So here, for example, we're not going to put step in here because we don't need it. That's not what's necessary. And then we're going to bring it round again this way. Hang on, so I've got to make sure that we're, so this gets a bit complicated obviously, but get rid of that. I'm going to put that leaf back in a minute. So we come along with that step, and then that would come there. So that would come there, then that would come there, then that would come there. So what we're looking at here is a step that goes like that. Okay, so that then would be like that, and then we need to soften across there like that. So I know it seems a bit awkward, but we'll get there, trust me, we're going to get there, it'll be fine. So we're just going to carry on making these slightly softer edges, and then when we get to the centre of this side here, we're going to invert, and by that I mean, so this is the centre here, these two, we're going to invert by putting that there and that there. We're going to lose that. I'm actually going to lose that because I need to give a differentiation there, and then we're going to come around there, 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 and just keep coming around like that. So you can see, so now what we've done with that edge, we've created a platform, and obviously we need to support this because that's going to offend me because it doesn't look like gravity's working on it properly. So we're starting to create a platform that is going to work very nicely with the rest of the build. And the tree is starting to merge ever so slightly into the rest of it, and what I want to do is I want to get a bit of a border. So we're going to use this fence to create a border around like this. I need to work out how I'm going to do this border here. I wonder if I might have to change mine. This is the thing about freestyle builds, every now and again You just have to change your mind. It's the only way. There we go. So we're going to put that back in there like that. I'll think of how to merge at a later date. I don't know. We're going to make that like that, and that like that, and that means we're going to get rid of that. If I'm going to do it for one, I'm going to do it for all of them, aren't I? There we go. So we'll keep it like that for now. We'll keep that taller one, the taller leaves there as part of it, because that does give a little bit of a softer edge there, and we'll connect that up. We're then going to get, I think we're going to use jungle wood either side of that, coming up too high like that, to create a bit of a gate. Then we're going to come around like that, and then we're going to do the same on this side. There we go. So we're starting to create this platform which will become part of the formal build. And what I want to do, I actually want to start to darken up the roof. What I like about woods, if you kind of mix up your woods, is if you use different colour woods, like here I've got some spruce wood, what you can do is you can actually create some really nice textures. Put that like that and like that, and then put that like that there. That creates a nice archway that kind of enters this pod. We'll call this a pod for now, shall we? And then what we can do is we can create a roof above this pod, or above the height of this pod, by bringing in kind of near the corner. So we want to think about, where's the corner here? This is the center corner. So if we come in there and create that, say 3 high, this is the center corner here. So that's the one we want to go 3 high there. Same here. Can you tell I'm making this up as I go along? This is freestyle, people. This is what you do when you freestyle a build. So that is sufficiently high there. We're then going to top that off with a bit of spruce plank, and then we're going to come down like this and come out along, down, across and out, and we're going to create a roof to this particular pod in this way that's going to arch ever so slightly like that. Can you see how we've done this? So that comes out like that, there, and then it comes across, and it then meets beautifully, you can see what I've done there, the archway of that, which was obviously completely planned. Do you believe that? Well, maybe you should. Every now and again I do something that's planned and it works, and every now and again I fluke something and that works too. And you know what, I'll take the flukes at the same time as I'll take the plans. So we'll just carry on with making the roof area here. This is an outer pod, you can see it's on the outside of the tree, so we've not got anything above it at the moment. So coming up and around, there, just finishing off the roof with a nice gentle slope. There, nearly done, and you'll start to be able to see what I'm trying to achieve. So you can see there, so we're getting a pod that's got a bit of a slopey roof there, and then we're going to add a little bit more detail on the inside just to make it more, I guess, a tree house like. Is that even a word? I don't even know, but if it's not a word it should be. I'm just going to carry on with the roof like this, there and there, and I'm going to end up with a square space in the middle that we'll do something else with. I'm going to leave it open for now. So what have we done there? So how have we done that? Something's not gone quite right. Ah, right, so that's why. That's because that shouldn't be like that. That should be like that. There we go. So what we've got there now is a square space that's 3 by 3. We can then make a kind of a ring of 8 slabs like that. That is I believe is a bottom edge, and we can test that by shoving in a glowstone that just pokes out of the top like that. Now I may or may not leave that glowstone like that. I'm not entirely sure. I will make a decision momentarily, but I think just as a start we're starting to get a little bit of structure, and I'm not going to put any details on these platforms as yet, but we definitely will be putting details on the platforms. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go around all the other platforms, and I'm going to create it's kind of similar but maybe not exactly the same type of structures, and then we've got to start linking them together. and, you know, making some kind of communal village-like thing rather than it being lots of separate little circles, which is not good to anybody. We want it to be a single entity. So I'll crack on with that and I'll be back when I've finished. We're starting to get a little bit of structure now. You can see we've got a complete circuit, I think, pretty much of the tree on that lower level. What we've not done is actually connect it up to the platform in the middle yet, but we're going to do that probably here and one other place, I imagine, as well. And we're also starting to connect it up to the next level. You can see here it's just poking up onto the next level now, as a result of going up on a spiral staircase, which will continue it through. And then we've also got this guy here has got a second level, which is quite a large one, and that will connect up to here too. So it's beginning to come together, and then what we can do is we can bring this central area, whether or not I'll bring a spiral around the tree or not, I'm not sure yet. Whether you have to go up through these areas to access this bit of the tree, I'm not sure yet. It's quite common in a village for there to be only a couple of ways in and a couple of ways out, so I think it's quite reasonable to basically guard up so you can't go too far kind of through multiple directions. If it ever needed to be defended, you'd want to, oh look, I've missed a bit, I'm going to stick this stick some fencing. Now I'm not necessarily going to keep it all as fencing, it just makes me really clear in my head where the boundaries of each thing is, and then I can change it up if I ever wanted to make anything a little bit more enclosed or maybe open it up a little bit more. But I think we're starting to get quite a nice idea of where it is we want to go. And then let me just, where's me, I've managed to lose my my oak wood planks. There we go. So let's get rid of that. I can always get that back again later. So what we'll do is, now we've got this opening here and we've got this area here, I want to start to build up on the second level, and perhaps we won't have things quite so circular on the second level, maybe a little bit squarer or with a little bit more different types of shape. I don't know, we'll find a way. I've not decided yet, I'm making it up as I go along. But this connection here is going to come up, and I probably want to move that over a little bit actually, otherwise that's going to be too much of a wobble. Let's get it so out of the way. So we want to, this top level is going to be coming up here, so let's put, I don't know, that maybe we'll stick something around about there and it can span across. So how's that? Let me just look at that as a line. That's, look at that, I've managed to line that up perfectly by eye. What a complete spawny fluke that was. So let's get rid of that, that and that. That can overhang there. That can come across there. Quite happy with that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, hang on, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. That is fine. Then this is going to come out 8 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's getting quite close to the trunk, and I'm happy with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. So that's going to be the next platform on that level, and that will connect up quite nicely coming across there. We can leave some of the branches free. We don't have to have a building on every branch, and then we can bring it up to this level. And I've got an idea as to what. I'm not going to build anything on the top bit. I'm going to leave that tree, but certainly we're going to put something up on this level. So I'm going to carry on and do probably quite a lot more, and I'll come back to you when we get down to some detailing type stuff, because I think that's probably what the next interesting bit is. Next thing is basically going to be repetition. So I'm not going to go through all the repetition with you, but I'll be back when we've got a lot more structure ready to do some detailing. Once again, someone, I'm not saying who, but someone, it's me, has bitten off a little more than they can chew. I've managed to put quite a number of these pads in, and I know said I was going to come back to you when I finished it, but I thought, you know what, it's taken so long to do, I figured I ought to come back and give you a bit of an update, because there's quite a lot has gone on since I last basically broke off, which I appreciate with you was only a shush away, but I'm starting to get some more structure on some of these pods. We've got a few living quarters, and I've joined them up to the next level, and inside here we've Now got steps up so as we can get actually to the pods from the ground and stuff like that, which is very important. And it's starting to come together, but oh my goodness, it has taken way longer than I thought it would. Look, we've started to put some little farmy bits on there as well, and a number of ways up to the second level. So it's looking all right, but I didn't want to just, you know, have half a tree and then all of a sudden have the whole thing, because that wasn't really what this was about. We've got another living quartz there on that level as well. But you can wander around from one place to another quite nicely. Here's no one. Look, there we go. Okay, so that one goes down to this side, and then it comes long sweeping around to this level. So now we're on the lower level again. We've got some carrots and stuffs growing there. Then I'm coming down this one. This one's lined by leaves, and this is an enchanting room. And then we come up this one, and oh look, we've got some melons and some pumpkins. How lovely. Melons and pumpkins up a tree, and then we've got some wheat. So that's kind of obviously the farming quarter in this town. I've got a room here that I've not decided what I'm going to do with yet. We've got an enclosed space here that takes us to another room. So you can see the idea of kind of joining it all up together so as it all looks, you know, look, we can come up onto the next level here. So we're joining it all up together so as it looks, oh, 2 minutes, there we go. That was a good test. I should have tested that first. All the way up to the top. And then we're coming round. That will go off somewhere in a minute. That will go off somewhere onto that pod there. I just can jump across on the leaves at the moment. Obviously, because I'm a bit like Tarzan. Come it up. But that'll eventually get over to there. And you see what I'm trying to achieve. So that's the idea. So I just wanted a little bit of a check-in with you before I end up finishing it off, which is what I'm going to try and do now. So I'll be back when it's done. So I think we've got most of the structure built now around this tree. I don't think I'm going to put any more platforms on because we've got quite a lot. I'm going to end up having more platforms than we have tree, and that won't do at all, will it? So what we've got to do now is we've got to put a little bit of detail on some of these. I've started already some of the roofs. I've just put a little bit of sticky bit on the roof to make it look quite jungly. I've got some fairly decent decoration coming up. Some of like these steps have all got their little torches going up. Up here we've got a Nether Portal just waiting to be lit. I'm going to do that at the end, kind of a big unveiling type thingy. And here we've got other steps going up. So I think we've got the travel paths just about right. What we've not got inside here, you can see inside it looks kind of cool actually. I think I prefer it on the inside than I do on the out. What we've not got is the detail inside some of these really nice pods. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some of the detail inside the pods. I need to try and get in here. I'm going to get, there we go. So here's like a nice big open area, and we're going to want to try and make this a kind of, this is like an audience chamber, this particular one. So we're going to do, what am I going to do? Where's my steps? Let's use, what steps shall we use? Shall we use, let's not need nega brick, that wouldn't look good, would it? Let's use spruce. So if we get some spruce wood steps, let's lose that, that will go fine. Okay, so there we go. So spruce wood steps, we can get some there and there and there. And we can get some more audience chambery type stuff there. Then another one there that's nice and big there. And another big old chair there. So you can see we're kind of building up large seating area in here, which should look kind of cool, I think, actually. Quite like the idea of it. And then we'll get another one there, like that. So look, we've got lots of seating area in this particular. I'm going to keep this one really open because we don't need very much going on in here. And in some of the others, I'm going to make it kind of less open and more kind of touchy-feely. That's it. Up here we've got, again, another nice open space. I wonder whether or not, see, this is kind of a viewing platform across the lands on this side and also on this side, and it goes down across onto the platform that sits kind of halfway up the tree as well. So it's kind of a transitionary platform here. I think this would be good as an armory. So I'm going to get in here. Where's my doobie-doo? Okay, so let's get some of those on. So I'm going to put, going diagonally across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this side as well, 7, 8, 9, and then here, 10, 11, 12. I'll kit them up very definitely. Then I'm going to put some on these walls. We're going to get some, or rather some item frames. And we're going to put item frames there and there. There and there. They actually look quite nice, don't they? I quite like the look of those. You could even leave them as they are. They'd look kind of cool. And plenty of item frames. And in these item frames, we can put some weaponry. So if I get myself a nice diamond sword, there we go. That can go in there. So that's now a diamond sword that we can stick in. So I'm going to fill up these armors and get those going. I'm also going to come across here to this place here, because I think this is a relatively enclosed space here, so I think this could be quite nice as just a little living area. So if we get, what colour bed? Let's go for a red bed. If we were to stick a little red bed, where should we stick it? There? Yeah, there will do. And then we'll put a chest there, which is always quite good. Then we can have a furnace, just as a little own private furnace just there. So it's like a little living area, living space there, which is good. Then across here, again, we've got plenty of choices to what we could do here. And I wonder or not whether or not this ought to be another kind of a farmy come kind of growing stuff area. Growing stuff area, that's terrible English. I'm not very good with my English at the moment. So if I was to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then if we break that block in the middle there, actually no, let's not, we can put it, see, I was going to say, why don't we put the water there, but the new update aquatic that's coming out will mess that up. So actually I'm going to put the water in there. We're going to get a water block like that. We can then get out our hoe and hoe that completely. I keep lobbing it away, look. So that's, stay with me, don't go, hoe. And then we can maybe, what should we plant? What should we plant in here? Shall we plant, well, we're not going to plant it. Why don't we plant some spuds? I don't think I've planted any spuds yet. Spuds, by the way, are potatoes, for those of you that don't understand the word spud. So there we go. So there's some potatoes there, which is nice. I like that. That's good. Then what we're going to do is we're going to find a relatively large one that we've not built anything on yet. So we've got a house there. So let's come around this side here. Not that one. Not that one. What about this one? What have I done with these so far? Well, I've not done anything with these so far. So if I come around here and this up here, I wonder, yes, that's growth over there. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get my fence. So I'm going to get the normal fence, not the jungle fence. I'm going to up the level of the fence completely, get rid of that, up that there. I'll replace those torches, up the level of the fence on all these sides, there and there, there and there. I think that works. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come across here. I'm going to, from here, I'm going to come across and up and across and there, but there I'm going to put a fence gate. Where's that? There it is. A fence gate in there, so that can open like that. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to create a the animals. I couldn't even get. Why couldn't I find the word animals? It's really not that complicated. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace these with some dirt blocks, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up. I'm just going to get the dirt blocks in there first. I'm going to need to do something underneath, otherwise it will look dodgy. But if I get all the dirt blocks in here first, and then I'm going to mix it up with a little bit of podzol as well, and some coarse dirt. And what that will do is it will give a nice kind of mixed animal floor type of feel. What I'm going to do actually, I'm going to stick some grass in so the sheep have got something to play with. Right, okay, so now podzol, we want some podzol, there it is. So let's just get a bit of podzol like that, a bit of podzol like that, a bit of podzol like that. And it kind of looks like the animals have done a poo. I'm just going to leave that one hanging there. So let's get some coarse dirt in there. If I coarse dirt, that means that won't grow the grass across. Anything that's coarse dirt will remain as dirt, and anything that is dirt could potentially grow grass on it, but I quite like the way that looks. So here we've got a little bit of grassy area that will allow the sheep to grow their coats and stuffs, and we've got other area that looks like animals have done some poos, because animals do actually do poos. Now what if we get some hay, stick that in there, escape that. Hey, let's get some hay in, stick a hay on there and a hay on there, so that looks like it's officially animal type stuff. I need to, if I put hay there, I'm going to have to put, no, let's not get the hay there, let's put the hay there instead. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn in some animals. What animals shall we have? Let's have, not a polar bear. Let's spawn in a polar bear. That could be terribly, terribly not good. What should we have? I don't want any chickens. A cow. Let's get a cow in there first, yeah. So I spawn a cow. There's a couple of cows. There we go. Always get a couple of animals, because then you can breed them if you want to. So that was the cow. Let's get a donkey in there, because they're cool. And let's get a sheep. Yeah, let's get a sheep. 2 sheeps. And a little piggy. Where's the pig? There's the pig. And 2 pigs. So now I can come out and go in there. And we've got plenty of animals in there. Oh, yeah, I might do a chicken. Let's get some chickens going as well, shall we? Where's my chicken? Chicken, there it is. Let's get a couple of chickens in there as well. There we go. So now we've got a little menagerie thing that you can come to from here. I'm all past on your way to the farm. That works quite nicely. You never have 2 chickens. So there you go, get a couple more. So, and then we can definitely get some chests in here, because we're going to need the chests like that to be able to hold the stuff that the animals are going to give us. There you go, plenty of chests. Very good, that's awesome. Right, I'm going to carry on detailing this place up, and I'll be back when I am very nearly finished, I think. And it ain't that far off. So I think we're nearly done. All we need to do now is to stop these platforms, see, like this one, look like they are floating in the air. And all we're going to do just to achieve that is to stick some additional leaves all around the outside, so as they're overlapping and basically looking like they are supporting the tree that is the jungle village. It's really don't want anything just stuck out in the middle like that. I mean, it just doesn't quite look right. But if we then just start to build stuff up around it, just so as every now and again we get a little bit of overlap like that, and it just makes for a better looking, more realistic way of this village to have actually built itself up. Can you see there, that platform now looks far more natural. We just need to bring that out a little bit more there, and we're going to be pretty much there. Okay, can get rid of that one in the corner, definitely. So yeah, so I'm happier with that platform now. That looks more natural, looks better, looks like it actually belongs. It certainly didn't look like it belonged before. But this one up here also is looking just a little bit not quite. So all I'm going to do, just going to stick some stuff underneath. Not too much, doesn't even have to look like it's attaching itself to anything, because this particular one probably wouldn't be. But we just need to wrap it around so as it's kind of continuous with this growth here, like that, and then maybe bring it up a touch, like that, so that looks like it's meant to be there, which is what we're trying to achieve. So that can go there, that can go there, we lose that. Okay, so that looks just a little bit better already. And we're just going to carry on doing this around the build, just to make sure we've got plenty of support type looking blocks that are leaves around the outside, and then we'll light that portal and we'll call it a day. So let's get this done. Oh, blimey, this is really unsupported. This is where we've got all the dirt, look, so we need to properly cover that up, because that's not going to look particularly good. Our animals are underneath, we don't want them thinking they've got nothing supporting them. So let's come out here, go out like that. So you get the idea, right? So that's how we're going to do it. We're just going to carry that on and continue that all the way around until we get a nice, more natural looking village. Just come out, don't fall over. Exactly what I did. So you can see, just like that. So I'm going to carry that on and I'll be back when we are finished completely. So I reckon we are pretty much finished up here. So all that leaves us to do is to come up to the top and light our nether portal, because no base is complete without a nether portal. So let's get up here, light that fella up, and there we go, one nether portal at the top of our tree, and that is looking awesome. So let's take a little bit of a tour, shall we? So we're coming down, we've got basically a nether portal access place that's here, and we have to come down the stairs to get down from there, which is a nice spiral staircase going down through the trees. Don't fall over the edge. And it keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming till you're down at the bottom, and then you can go down that way, which takes you down to a double opening staircase into the main platform. So coming along here, we now have our furnaces with plenty of, you can come outside and have a look at those, got plenty of storage around here. Then we can come around this way through the lovely floral thing, and then we've got our audience chamber. If we keep coming around this way, we carry on, we've got another pathway which takes us down and then back up again. That takes us to a huge storage area where we're going to do lots of crafting, a couple of crafting tables. Coming down this way, we're into another access that takes us up. So we keep going up here and up there and up there and up there and up there, through the trees, through the grass, through the leaves. Takes us to another big chamber at the top, which is brilliant. So come around the outside of that. We can come down. We've got a nice view that we can survey everything that we've got over there. And that is that side. And then we come around here. Look, we've got all kinds of other builds. Just trying to learn. Let's come over to the farms, shall we? So we've got our potato farm that we did a little bit earlier on, coming through this way. We've got a nice dormitory with a load of beds where people can sleep. Then we come down our sweeping staircase that goes around the corner all the way down. That takes us to our carrot farm, and we come along this way, and to the left we've got a nice residence here. Look, we can come in. This is a nice guard outpost residence for the look, and they can look out over the place. It's lots of stuffs. There is a full-on village inside this tree, which is what we were trying to achieve, coming through a little nice leafy area. And we can come back, and we're back at the furnace area again. So it's a nice complex village that's got loads of different areas, loads of spaces in it. I think it's a really good way to have used up this tree space. We've put some vines to fall down, so over time this will become even more attractive, and I think it's going to look really, really rather nice. So if you have enjoyed this video, please do make sure you slap that like button for me. It'd be great to know that you've enjoyed the video, and that way I can continue to make more of these big freehand builds. Remember, no planning on these. We literally make them up as we go along. And also, if you've not done it already, please do think about hitting that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I'll look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.